Now at 5, some temporary relief for SNAP benefits just one day before funds were set to lapse. Despite the move, many organizations were already getting relief in motion for families in need.
LMPD wants to crack down on illegal massage parlors in our area. Now they're working on a new operation in hopes of taking care of that issue.
Plus, lots of ghouls and ghosts and goblins will be lurking the streets tonight. We're checking out one hotspot for trick-or-treat. And if you'll need a jacket to go along with your costume, Wave News at 5 starts now.
Now, Wave News at 5.
2 federal judges have ruled the Trump administration must continue to fund the SNAP program.
Wave News reporter David Mattingly has been talking to United Way. He joins us live now from the organization and shares that this new development for SNAP funding does not mean that a crisis is over.
That's right, Brian. Even with these court rulings, recipients of SNAP benefits are likely to see delayed and reduced benefits going forward. So local organizations here are stepping up to fill the gaps.
We know that in this moment, as families go to bed tonight wondering how they will eat tomorrow, we each need to do our part to let them know there is hope and relief in sight.
Not waiting for the courts or Congress to act, Metro United Way launches a $500,000 Hardship to Hope Food Relief Fund for SNAP households with at least one child or elderly resident. The idea is to give families who won't be getting their SNAP benefits on time or in full a chance to hang on. And it comes with a sobering admission of limitations.
Of the 60,000 households that are at risk of having their benefits compromised, we know that that is a very finite number. What we can do to put a dent in that, honestly, it's hard for me to say what that's going to be at this moment in time.
Metro United Way CEO Adria Johnson says adding zeros to the initial $500,000 is needed. Donations are critical as the potential for a larger impact continues to emerge. According to the Kentucky Center for Economic Policy, 12.9% of state residents received SNAP benefits in February, spending $102.6 million at local markets.
And all of those funds that are going to disappear, all of those customers that won't be able to shop, that means less hours for our union members, which means less money in their paychecks too.
So JCPS Superintendent Dr. Brian Yearwood says that he too is concerned for students in his district and other families too who may be worried about their next meals. Take a listen.
Sometimes when a child doesn't get breakfast or lunch, you see more visits to the school nurse, headaches, stomach aches, inability to focus. So we want to encourage parents to make sure that your kids have the opportunity to eat breakfast with us because we want those kids well nourished and we want them ready to learn.
So that was a spokesperson for the JCPS nutrition team talking about this same subject. The district says it's going to continue to provide free meals to students. All the students in the JCPS school system are eligible for this free breakfast and lunch. It's through community eligibility. Earlier today, we talked with a nutrition expert. That was the interview you just heard there. She said the whole purpose of this is to make sure that nobody is going hungry. She says the school nutrition programs are funded through the United States Department of Agriculture. They're to be reimbursed based on the meals that they have served.
New here at 5, the Caesars Foundation of Floyd County is pledging their support for emergency relief for families who use SNAP. The foundation announced a $50,000 commitment for groceries and essential living costs. The money will support the Hardship to Hope Food Relief Fund of Metro United Way and their organizations. Around 2,900 families in Floyd County receive SNAP benefits. Metro United Way is pooling resources together to distribute gift cards and other direct aid to families impacted. Well, the case of a Norton Commons man accused of possessing and distributing child porn has now been waived to a grand jury. 39-year-old Michael Booth was arrested on October 22nd. Police say 39-year-old Michael Booth used the social media app Kick to share inappropriate images in August. Court documents say that a search warrant uncovered files depicting minors who were shared more than 2,000 times. Booth has a large following on social media under the name Mr. Crafty Pants. His YouTube channel that had thousands of followers has been taken down. Booth's bond remains at $100,000. The grand jury will take up his case the first week of December.
Tonight, we have new information about a homicide from last Halloween. 3 new suspects have been arrested, bringing the total number of arrests to 5 following the shooting death of a Hillview man. This was again back in 2024. Last Halloween, police responded to the intersection of Norwood Way and Hillview Boulevard. It was around 2 in the morning. They discovered that 18-year-old Cole Bullock had been shot and killed. Jose Ortiz was arrested about a month later. He was juvenile at the time, but is now 18. Since then, a 15-year-old and 18-year-old Jason Lannon have also been indicted in this case. You're taking a look at Lannon's mugshot. 2 other people who have not yet been named have also been tied to this case, but police say the investigation's still open. According to new court documents, most of the suspects have told police they didn't even know the victim. This month, we spoke to the victim's brother, who now hosts the Scareview Haunt in his brother's honor to try to keep Halloween from being just a somber memory.
I'm gonna quit Halloween, but got the opportunity to do this, and my love and passion came all back.
Well, tonight's the final night for this Scareview Haunt for this season. From Cruisin' for Cancer to Dare to Care Food Bank to Operation Santa, Cam, who you just heard from the brother there, he says the funds raised always go to support a good cause.
All right, let's get to your forecast now. A lot of kiddos, they're probably going out for trick-or-treating right now or in about an hour. That's about the time usually for some in our area, and it looks nice outside.
Yeah, letting it get dark outside first. And of course, after several days in a row, we were wondering, Ryan, is the weather going to hold up today? And it looks like it's a beautiful night for it.
Yeah, we're in great shape, guys. It is going to be cool this evening for our trick-or-treat forecast, so keep that in mind here. It's not going to be bone chilling or anything like that, but make sure the kids have layers on, flannel, fleece, what have you here. Maybe a pair of gloves, not a bad idea, because a couple hours and temperatures near 50 or even the upper 40s, that's going to feel kind of cool. 47 degrees, by the way, by 10 o'clock this evening. We will, of course, have just a few clouds around, like you're seeing right now from our New Albany SkyTrack camera. Current temperature is 58 here in Louisville. Hello to folks up in Seymour, Indiana. You've got 56 on the map. Notice all the clouds to our east at this hour. That's where most of them are. We will see those clear skies for a few hours before the clouds ahead of our next system for tomorrow arrive. So for the overnight period, we will see those temperatures eventually descending into the lower 40s here in Louisville, upper 30s outside the city. Talking more about those Saturday showers with our next system coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, thanks so much, Ryan. We've got some nice trick-or-treating weather today, and that's good news for the families heading outside tonight.
Yeah, we're going to show you some previews here. We have Wave News reporter Meredith Lee, a.k.a. Paul Revere, joining us live from Grandview Avenue in St. Matthews. People starting to fill the bags with candy. And Meredith, I've got an assignment for you, a special one. I've got about an hour and a half left here with Myra on the desk, but I'm planning to go to that party this evening.
Okay.
It's a walk from my house, taking my son there. So make sure there's something left for me, okay? Put something aside.
If you guys need a head start, I will be all up and down this neighborhood getting candy for you. But first, listen, Wave Country, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. We are headed that ride down to St. Matthews, where this spectacular neighborhood celebration is going to get underway in just an hour. This is one of the most popular trick-or-treating spots in Louisville. It brings hundreds, sometimes thousands of people in costumes out to celebrate and to gather here. Check out some of these local vendors that are going to be setting up here, this food truck, and it's all around just a scary great time. Everything is kicking off in an hour. Right after the trick-or-treating, this is going to be the spot to be for anyone living in St. Matthews. Now, I have seen a couple floaters out there who are already dressed up and ready to go for trick-or-treating. I'm talking to Iyumi over here. She's dressed as a crazy cool skeleton. Talk to me about your costume.
So I'm being a skeleton. It's not a character from any movie or TV show, but I'm just being a skeleton. I found it, and I just wanted to be it this year.
That is awesome. You look so good. I love your accessories that you have going on. Now tell me, you're going trick-or-treating here in a little bit, right? Yeah. So what are your favorite kinds of candy to get?
Maybe like Twix or the Lifesavers gummies. I like gummies a lot.
I like gummies too. They're fun and fruity, but I'm a big chocolate girl myself. You said that you were coming out here with a couple friends too. What is your favorite part of Halloween trick-or-treating celebrations?
So going out with my friends, trick-or-treating, getting the candy, and this event that Jason Johnson is doing. I like his competitions. It's fun, it's competitive, it's just fun too. That's the best part about it.
That is so cool, and I am so excited to join you tonight for all of the fun that's going to be happening right here. So thank you for talking to me, and we'll catch you right back here at 6 o'clock when all of this party is going to get started. Meredith Lee, Wave News.
All right, thanks, Meredith. Looks like a lot of fun out there. And you can share your spooky, creative, and cool costumes with Wave, whether it's adults, kids, or your pets. Send them to us. And you can do that by downloading the free Wave News app, scrolling down to the Submit Your Photos option, and then following the prompts to upload your photos.
But we always love the holiday season for the positivity, but we know for a lot of folks it's a time of need. So as we head into that season, a lot of people in our area are stepping up, trying to lend a hand. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to share how butcher shops across the Commonwealth are helping those in need.
Plus, families in Jamaica, they are starting the rebuilding process after the destruction from Hurricane Melissa. We're going to take a look at new satellite images that show the extent of the outages on the island.
The FBI says they stopped a potential Halloween weekend terrorist attack this morning. The FBI arrested a group of people in the Detroit area. They're accused of plotting some form of attack with a possible reference to Halloween. Law enforcement officials say the group has a connection to some form of foreign extremism, but they didn't specify. Officials stressed there is no current threat to the public. After the arrests, Michigan's Attorney General praised the FBI for their work, but again, was not able to provide more details.
We've been in consultation with the FBI in regard to this matter, and while I can't speak publicly to the details of it, I can just say that I'm very, very grateful for the FBI's work in protecting the community and keeping people safe, and I'm sure we'll learn more about the details publicly later, but I'm thankful for their good work.
And there will still be more questions because we do know the case involves federal charges and arrests, but the court documents are also sealed as of this morning.
People were walking knee-deep in water after heavy rainfall led to flash flooding in New York City. And you can see some people trudging through inches of water trying to get to their destination. There were a couple of people seen here trying to rake leaves out from storm drains. The water also impacting how people commute around the city. Wow, look at this. This video shows a flooded subway station with water just streaming down from the platforms, and the rain swallowed up cars that were stuck with tires submerged. 2 people died because of the flooding.
New here at 5 o'clock, we're getting a first look at satellite images showing widespread power outages across Jamaica following Hurricane Melissa. Taking a look now at your screen, we have images from space. It looks like we're working to get those, but what they showed was the island lit up at night a week before the storm, and you can see now this image showing what Jamaica looks like after. Much of the areas without power after the hurricane hit. Jamaican government officials said yesterday it was about 72% of the island that was without power. Hurricane Melissa was one of the most powerful Atlantic storms in more than 150 years. The U.S. has deployed search and rescue teams, so we are now offering to help. We've got workers out there in the area. As again, we leave you with these images of the destruction in Jamaica.
Well, we continue to celebrate Halloween here in Wave Country. We're going to take a look at some of the photos that you sent into our station coming up next.
And it will be cool for trick-or-treating tonight, but it's all about the rain as we head toward late on your Saturday. We've got the details with that hour-by-hour rain chance for the weekend coming up next.
So it's Friday evening, Halloween. Everyone's entertained for tonight, but bringing in meteorologist Ryan Hogue because then the weekend's here. We're all excited for that. And Do I see behind you that we may be returning to what we dealt with every day besides Halloween this week?
Not exactly.
Okay.
But it's definitely going to be a throwback feel for a little bit here.
Okay.
We do have some more rain chances in the forecast here, just in time for our weekend. Of course, right? And the next week looks great too. So we just unfortunately are hitting all the wrong notes here when it comes to the rain timing. Let's talk about that for Saturday night. These are Saturday showers we are going to be tracking. Let's look at the hour-by-hour version of this. You'll notice the morning is dry. Midday, also dry. It's during dinner time and especially thereafter that scattered and eventually widespread showers will be moving through, a 60% chance by about 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Futurecast shows it well. A dry morning, a dry midday time frame, and then boom, here come these showers, especially after about 7, 8 o'clock at night here. We'll be dealing with a 60% chance of those. Some of them could be briefly heavy, but this isn't looking like a big old washout or anything like that. And at least it will be at night when folks are generally asleep. The bad part is that Sunday morning may be wet. Folks heading out for Sunday services or for brunch, have the umbrella, have a rain jacket ready because you might need it. Thankfully, the rain chance will go down progressively through the daylight hours on our Sunday. How much rain are we expecting through Sunday morning? Not a ton. Here in Louisville, up to 0.2 of an inch. It's not much. Southern Kentucky, a ½ inch is possible down that way here. Again, just regular old rain, nothing crazy with it, just kind of bad timing for our Saturday evening activities. Let's get you outside now with our Corridon SkyTrack camera. Seeing a few folks out and about there on this Halloween evening. Current temperature in Louisville, 58 degrees. Today we've made it 258 for the high temperature. It's still several degrees below normal for this time of year. 43 was the low this morning. Most of the clouds are to our east and then well to our north and west. See the spinning area of rain up near Minneapolis? That is going to be our next system for Saturday evening. Tonight should be great for trick-or-treating. We're talking about temperatures falling through the 50s and eventually the 40s. Make sure your kiddos have layers on this evening if they're going to be out for an appreciable amount of time. 42 is what we'll drop to in Louisville by Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. We'll see those scattered showers during the daylight hours, but after sunset is when those showers will become more widespread. Here comes the 10-day earliest alert. A quick reminder. Sunday morning at 2 a.m., daylight saving time ends. This results in two things. One, turning our clocks back an hour before bed Saturday night, and two, an extra hour of sleep Sunday morning. How about them apples? You'll see we've got plenty of sunshine just in time for next week here. In fact, check this out. Wednesday of next week. Oh, how about a high of 67 degrees? That will be about 10 degrees warmer than today as an area of warmer air continues to intrude in here from the south and west. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end as we see those temperatures back down into the 50s by Thursday of next week. I do want to flag, by the way, early next week, those mornings will be in the 30s and lower 40s with frost potential. Keep that in mind. You'll need the winter coats.
Yeah, walking the kids to daycare or the dogs before work, you're just going to need a dress for it.
It is that time of year. I mean, November starts tomorrow, so we've been living on borrowed time.
That's true. Good point, Ryan. All right, well, for one more day, it is still October, which means it's Halloween, and one thing we love about it is, of course, the costumes. Yeah, check these out. All right, so some of our Wave News staff got in on the fun. These are the outfits. Dozens of people here dressed up, and all of you sent us some pictures as well, and we are sharing those now. Some fantastic costumes. What are we seeing here?
That's a biohazard suit.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
That's so cute. A little cow and a pumpkin. I love that.
I love it.
Oh, my goodness.
These are so great. We love when you send these in. The pets, too, of course, getting involved. A little devil there. I love it. Thank you for sending these and being a part of the holiday season with all of us here on Wave News. Keep them coming. All right, so this evening's a big one for sports. My alma mater in Sydney in the booth producing the show. We both are male Bulldogs. We are taking on Ryan Hoke's alma mater, Manual, tonight. It is the big game, the old rivalry, folks. We've got a preview for you. Tonight's Touchdown Friday Night Game of the Week coming your way next. So we're in the final week of the regular season for high school football in Kentucky, and we've got a huge rivalry game, as always, to put a bow on that season. It's our Touchdown Friday Night Game of the Week. Features the oldest rivalry in the state, Male at Manual. And we've got a bunch of homers connected to this game. Wave Sports Director Kendrick Haskins here. He's rocking the Touchdown Friday Night merch. And all right, Kendrick, I'm a male Bulldog. Sydney, our producer for the show, is a male Bulldog. Ryan Hoke is a Manual. ram or whatever they are. So the crimson. Yeah, they're the colored crimson. Okay, got it.
Hey, we have to be.
We're not supposed to study the opponents.
Down the middle of this.
I can't study the opponents. I'm not supposed to know what they're all about, right?
Stop. The old rivalry began in 1893. That's even before Kevin Harnett was around. Mail has the most wins in the annual game with the 90, 46, and 6 record. However, the Crimson won last year's meeting at Mail. Wave Sports anchor Dusty Baker is live at Manual Stadium, and he also has on some TDFN merch. Hey, Dusty.
Yeah, Kendrick, of course, when you look at the old rivalry, you mentioned it dates back to 1893. More importantly, this evening, though, we're looking at two teams trying to end the regular season on a very high note. The Crimsons hosting the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs specifically trying to end what was at the start of the year not a very ideal beginning to their season, but they have caught fire as of late. Taking a look back to what they did start out as, it was a 2-2 start to the season, then a 3-3 start, not up to the standard this team is normally used to. Records generally not what they put up year in, year out. But the Bulldogs have cranked it up a notch over the last month, winning 3 straight games over Southern, Fern Creek, and Bullitt East in our most recent game of the week. Tonight, the Bulldogs will have arguably their toughest test since their loss to Trinity. That was back in early September. Coach Wolf saying the Dogs will have to be firing tonight, though, if they want the chance to defeat the Crimsons.
Up front, you don't get any easy yards. They're big and physical up front. Their linebackers are the size of D linemen, and their D linemen are huge. And their offensive game, they've got a quarterback's one of the fastest guys in the state. You know, Manual's one of the best teams in the state, and hopefully we turn the corner on our season. You know, it's going to be a pretty exciting game, hopefully.
These two squads will kick off right here at Manual Stadium at 7:30. Of course, when you look back to last season, Mail is trying to return the favor after falling 21-0 on their home turf. The two will kick off at 7:30. We'll preview the Crimsons at 6. Until then, back to you, Brian.
All right, good deal. Thank you, Dusty. We have got a lot more coming your way. Next at 5:30, LMPD taking steps to close illegal massage parlors across the city. We'll share how a program that's gotten results in Florida could soon be the standard here in our city. Plus, a Kentucky woman gets an unexpected delivery to her door. Turned out to be body parts inside. We're learning more about that major mix-up coming up next.
Now, Wave News at 5.
LMPD is joining Metro government and other local agencies in creating a task force that targets illegal massage parlors in our area.
Experts say that these illegal businesses can oftentimes hide organized human trafficking.
Wave News reporter Fernando Garcia Franceschini joins us now to explain how police are working to address this.
Yeah, Myra, we talked with an LMPD officer today who's been working on these sort of cases for years. He says there are between 35 to 40 illegal massage businesses here in Jefferson County. The officer says they're working to create an unfriendly environment for these businesses in the area. And for him, that includes creating a system where customers at these parlors have to write down their names and show their IDs. The working therapists would also have to put their names and the service the customer received. LMPD says this is law in Florida and has helped the state crack down on this problem.
But if we can clean up our city and if we can set a precedent that in Louisville we will not allow exploitation to happen, we're going to make it as impossible as we can for you to do this kind of business here. I think we
Officer Dan Marsden says they're also focusing on helping the victims. He says these people rarely ever come forward and confess or ask for help, but he wants them to know help is available in the area. This task force is part of an ordinance proposed by Metro Councilman Jeff Hudson. Other groups who are a part of this task force include Metro ABC and the local health department. Fernando Garcia Franceschini, Wave News.
All right, thanks, Fernando. So a package arrived to a Kentucky woman's home containing body parts instead of medical supplies. That's what she was expecting. The coroner's office got the call from Christian County around 8 on Wednesday night. The coroner came and picked up the parts. They confirmed that the body parts were being used for medical training. They were accidentally delivered to the home instead of the woman's medication order.
I don't even have words. I open boxes every day, and I would just die. I would scream and run away.
This was not through a typical mail service like USPS or FedEx. It was a private courier. Once again, the parts were supposed to be going to a medical training facility. They will be returned to the carrier for proper delivery, so they'll then go to their intended destination.
Some organizations and food banks, they are also offering venison that is harvested from local hunters to help people out in the food insecurity.
The goal, fill the plates of every Kentuckian. As program participants tell Wave News reporter Lena Noakes, they're seeing the need grow.
As uncertainty surrounds food assistance programs in the U.S., there's butcher shops across Kentucky that are pushing local hunters to participate in the Hunters for the Hungry program.
The program is really simple. Hunters donate the deer, taking it to a butcher shop that participates, like Cutter Ridge, who process that deer. Amanda Bowen grounds the meat into these 2-pound packs and sets it aside for pickup. Those packs go directly to local food banks. Last year, Bowen processed more than 40,000 pounds of meat from about 75 deer donated to the program. Bowen hopes that number grows this year as she sees the need for food on the table grow within the community.
I'm glad that I got into it because it's a blessing for many people because, like I said, 75 deer is a lot of meat. So, you know, I'm wondering to see how many I'll get this year. And I know Hardin County residents right now are needing a lot of, you just hear people, you know, hurting because things are so expensive. And so it's definitely, I really enjoy that I can help them.
The program provides a yearly average of more than 500,000 meals to Kentuckians. Bowen is one of more than 50 processors who help them meet that number.
For more information about the program and participating butcher shops across Kentucky, you can visit this story on our website at wave3.com. In Hardin County, Alina Noakes, Wave News.
Kentucky WIC will continue to operate as normal until further notice. The Women, Infants, and Children Nutrition Program clinics provide free, healthy foods, breastfeeding support, nutrition education, and referrals to other services to support families. Metro Public Health says that WIC clinics are open and ready to serve. You can still use your WIC cards, but to buy eligible foods, WIC-approved stores will still process purchases.
On top of following the day's biggest stories, Wave News is also learning more about a small business's struggle to grow its footprint in one corner of New Albany. Wave News anchor Jose Zozaya is live for us now in the Wave Now studio.
Brian, it's a tattoo artist parlor hoping that they can convince council leaders to change some zoning rules, and that in turn could help drive some more business. But tonight we're looking a little more closely at some of the pushback they say they're getting through published flyers and even complaints for some property owners, and all this on top of why other small businesses agree that zoning upgrades would help. This and many more stories coming up on Wave News Extra that we'll be streaming tonight. Back to you both in the studio.
All right, thanks, Jose. A lot of kiddos are getting ready to put their costumes on and head out trick-or-treating right now.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Ryan's got to look at the forecast throughout the evening, and then, of course, changes could be coming our way this weekend, Ryan.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about rain tomorrow, but thankfully not tonight on the biggest outdoor night of the fall, most likely here. The trick-or-treat forecast looks pretty good. Over the next 12 hours, we'll see those temperatures falling well into the 40s, and that already happens by about 9 o'clock this evening, especially here in Louisville. Outside the city, even sooner, likely 7, 8 o'clock in the 40s. Make sure your kiddos are dressed up in layers underneath or on top of their costumes there. Gloves, not a bad idea either, especially heading into early tomorrow morning when we see those temperatures drop into the 30s in some spots and lower 40s here in Louisville. Beautiful outside right now by appearance of things. We've got temperatures near 60 degrees. We're at 58. That's been our high so far today. Got clear skies to our west and westerly winds. Notice our next system is now waiting in the wings over the upper Midwest, over Minnesota. That's going to be what gives us rain for our Saturday night. Overnight, though, we should be in pretty good shape. We're talking about clearing skies for the most part until a few clouds move in tomorrow morning with those temperatures in the 40s. Coming up in the 10-day earliest alert, we'll talk about that weekend shower chance, the end of daylight saving time, and a warmer forecast for next week, guys.
All right, thanks, Ryan. A Louisville Metro councilman is proposing new legislation that would prevent ICE agents from concealing their identities with masks. Councilman J.P. Leninger proposed a clarification of the Louisville mask ordinance. He wants no exceptions for law enforcement agencies like ICE. Councilman Leninger says that this measure was prompted by ICE agents regularly wearing masks during immigration raids. He adds that officers are expected to be identifiable as public servants. Last year, Mayor Greenberg Bloomberg announced his administration would enforce Louisville's mask ordinance when it comes to crimes. Councilman Lininger says that there will still be exceptions for wearing masks, like when it comes to health and undercover police work.
New here at 5:30, a fired Indiana University student newspaper advisor is claiming a free speech violation in a new federal lawsuit. Jim Rodenbush was a faculty advisor for Indiana University's student newspaper. He argued that his free speech and due process rights were violated when he was fired for refusing to ensure that no news stories appeared in the homecoming print edition. That was earlier this month. He has filed a complaint seeking to get his job back along with monetary damages. Rodenbush was dismissed on October 14th for what the dean of the university's media school called a, quote, lack of leadership. The dean also ended the newspaper's print product. Editors of the Indiana Daily Student announced on Thursday that the university backtracked on its decision to cut future print editions for the rest of the school year. A printing budget was established through June of 2026. The next issue is scheduled to print in November.
Disney is pulling its channels from YouTube TV. We're learning more about the failed contract negotiations that's impacting how you watch some of your favorite networks.
Plus, the government shutdown enters 1 month. You'll hear how federal workers are reacting to missing paychecks as the president reveals what he's willing to do to get the stalemate to end. As the federal government shutdown hits 1 month today, millions of Americans who rely on government assistance to eat are getting relief from federal court.
2 judges forcing the Trump administration to keep paying SNAP benefits even as the shutdown drags on. The ruling affects more than 40 million people.
And then on Capitol Hill, Democrats and Republicans are continuing to point fingers over who's to blame for the shutdown. NBC's Ryan Nobles has more from Washington.
For millions of Americans set to lose government assistance to buy food Saturday, a reprieve. Friday afternoon, 2 federal judges nearly at the same time ordered the Trump administration to continue funding SNAP even as the government shutdown continues. The White House had said that government food assistance would end Saturday. The order affects more than 40 million Americans. But the court order does not solve the bigger problem. We're now 1 month into the federal government shutdown, and there's seemingly just one thing Democrats and Republicans in Washington agree on.
Your government is failing you right now.
Republicans pointing the finger at Senate Democrats, blaming them for the fallout of thousands of federal workers going without paychecks and the threat of millions being kicked off government assistance at any moment.
Every American who is concerned about this, every American that is feeling the harm, you should call the Senate Democrats and tell them to stop the nonsense.
But Democrats say a bigger crisis is on the horizon, and they won't vote to reopen the government until it's taken care of.
Republicans in Congress are still refusing to work with Democrats to stop the looming health care premium increases.
I'm always going to meet. All they have to do is open up the country.
Affordable Care Act premiums are set to see their biggest price hikes in more than a decade if Congress doesn't extend expiring federal subsidies. Millions of Americans caught in the middle.
It's not our fault that the government shut down, and obviously we would like our leaders to come to some sort of agreement or at least receive a paycheck.
In Washington, Chef Jose Andres' World Central Kitchen, which usually feeds the needy in disasters and war zones, is feeding furloughed federal workers. And across the country, food banks have been bracing for an influx of SNAP recipients as the fight over continuing those benefits rages on.
SNAP provides 9 times the amount of food that the charitable food system does.
I'm proud this place here, you know, where we can get the things that we need.
The Trump administration says that members of the U.S. military did get paid today, their second full paycheck, despite the government shutdown. A budget official saying the White House is using a mixture of legislative and Defense Department funds to cover those military paychecks. Ryan Nobles, NBC News, Washington.
Well, thousands of people will flock to Salem, Massachusetts for Halloween. We'll check out some of the costumes from the people who stop by from all across the country.
And we do have a nice forecast for Halloween this evening, but rain's going to become an issue by this time tomorrow evening. Details on that weekend forecast coming up in just a few.
Well, it's nice to see a little bit of that sunshine today for kiddos going out trick-or-treating.
It's the perfect night for it, but then, Ryan, we head into Saturday, and I know we've got some changes coming our way. You're timing this thing out, some rain possibly in the evening.
Yeah, we're talking about this time tomorrow, guys. Starting to see showers peeking into the area here. Let's go through it hour by hour, and you'll see that the morning tomorrow is dry. So as you're waking up, picking up candy wrappers off your front porch here, we won't have any weather problems. It will be cold, temperatures in the 30s and 40s. By noontime, starting to see a small shower chance west of Louisville. By dinner time, scattered showers in Kentucky, and then a lot of us see some rain around here, and some of it could be briefly steady as we head toward our 8 and 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. So plan on rain for your Saturday night here. Also, plan to turn your clocks back 1 hour this weekend, Saturday night. Here's the deal. This is what 6 o'clock p.m. is going to look like tomorrow evening. You know, we will have the sun setting just a little bit after that time frame here at 6:43, so we'll still have some light at 6 p.m. But once daylight saving time ends early Sunday morning, 6 o'clock, it's going to be pitch dark here in Louisville because that sunset will then be 5:42. So get ready for things to get all topsy-turvy here as we end daylight saving time and fall back 1 hour Saturday night. The good part is we do get an extra hour of sleep Saturday night. Always looking for that silver lining, right? Let's get you outside right now with our Paristown Skytrack camera where we see clear skies. It's currently 58 degrees. That's been the high so far today. It is a little breezy out there, so it's been a cool day. It's been a breezy, windy day, well below average this time of year. We should be in the mid-60s for highs. Out to our east is where the clouds are that we saw a little bit earlier, but our future weather lies up in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. It's an area of low pressure that's going to be buzzing down through the Great Lakes and eventually the Midwest around here, giving us a pretty decent chance of that rain by Saturday night. So for trick-or-treaters tonight, it will be cool. Make sure that they're all bundled up because we'll have temperatures likely falling into the 40s by 7, 8, 9 o'clock this evening here. At least it will be dry. Clouds will increase heading into tomorrow, and this is what's going to set us up for our Saturday with some scattered showers by the afternoon and more of a likely rain chance by the evening. Highs will be in the 50s again tomorrow. Same temperatures today, but not nearly as much sunshine here. The 10-day earliest alert reveals a weekend that does have the shower chance in it. Let's break it down hour by hour for you here. You'll note the morning is dry, afternoon a few showers, evening is the main rain chance. Let's track it with Futurecast now, and you'll see, of course, that dry morning, but a cloudy one. Few of those showers around dinner time, and then wholesale this rain moves in Saturday night here. This is 1 a.m. Sunday morning. Pretty decent amount of rain falling around here. Even for the Sunday morning service and, of course, brunch time frame, a few showers still sticking around. That's why we're keeping a small rain chance in there. Look what happens, though, by Wednesday of next week. Oh, this is good stuff. Finally starting to see some warmer air intrude. A milder forecast here with a high temperature of 67 by Wednesday. A dry front moves through, though, by Wednesday evening, guys, and that gives us highs back down into the 50s again by late next week on Thursday. Lots of ups and downs, but most of this is below normal for this time of year.
Basically, here comes November.
That's right. November 1st starts tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Well, when you think of Halloween, you have to think of Salem, Massachusetts. The witch city is set to receive a record number of visitors today, and they want to make sure it's as safe as it is spooky. They're expecting as many as 80,000 people for today's haunted happenings. The Salem mayor says they had to double the number of police officers to make sure that everyone stays safe out there. We will be
Find Disney's channels on YouTube TV, at least until the two companies can reach an agreement. Both companies failed to reach a new carriage agreement before Thursday's midnight deadline. The blackout leaves subscribers unable to watch content from Disney networks. That includes ESPN, ABC, the Disney Channel, FX, National Geographic, and Freeform. It's not clear how long the blackout will last, but both companies are continuing to talk.
A possible strike has been avoided for the WNBA and the Players Union. ESPN says both sides agreed on Thursday to extend the current collective bargaining agreement through November 30th. It was set to expire today, which could have led to possible player strike or a lockout by owners. The disagreement is over how the league determines its salary cap. The WNBA is offering sizable increases to players' salary, but the salary cap would remain fixed if revenue targets are not met. The Players Union is pushing for a salary cap based on the league's income, similar to the NBA, NFL, and NHL.
And we want to get you back now to that first look at the satellite images in Jamaica that shows the widespread power outages following Hurricane Melissa. So let's take a look now at your screen. There it is, that image from space that shows the island lit up at night 1 week before the storm. This is the image that shows most of Jamaica afterwards, without power after Hurricane Melissa hit. Jamaican government officials said yesterday that 72% of the island was without power.
Wow.
We want to thank you for joining us here for Wave News at 5.
Wave News at 6 is coming up next.